Hey guys, so I posted this thing in one of the Facebook groups and I was just saying, what do you want to hear about? What are the important topics? And someone had a really good one. I'm going to read this question. It says, if you could talk about how and where to practice applying all of the things we learned in the course, which is referring to the Tai Lopez SMMA Social Media Marketing Agency course. Thanks a bunch. And then she has a flex sign of an arm and says, I'm launching next month and really want to get good practice in. Okay, all right, awesome question. Let me tell you what I can say that'll help out. There's no point where you're going to end practicing. You just want to start beginning practicing as soon as possible. And there's a lot of ways to start practicing. I mean, like Tai says in the course, or if you haven't been in Tai's course, this is just a general thing. You start doing this for your own business. And then while you're doing it for your own business, you're learning a lot of things that you're going to apply to a client's business later on. And so I talk about websites a lot here, but this goes the same if you're doing social media marketing, if you're doing SEO, if you're doing the Facebook ads type of niche, kind of no matter what you're doing, you start by doing it for yourself. Same thing if you're a videographer or a content writer or something like that. And then you start to learn how the technology works. You start to learn how the dashboards and the intricacies of different things work. Like say you're trying to do Facebook ads. If you start setting up some Facebook ads for yourself, even if it's something you never really run, or that you run to some obscure audience, maybe in another country for $2 just to see how things work. I'm not saying that's the best use of your money, but that's something you could try. In setting it up, you start to learn, oh, this is how I start. And then wait, I have to pick, do I want this to be a reach ad? Do I want this to be a traffic ad? Is this a conversion ad? Like what are the different options here? What should I be using? And you have to learn that. Oh, do I want to do an A/B split test or not? Wait, what does that mean? And then how do I create the ad? What will they let me put up there? What won't they let me put up there? Some things we're not going to allow through. Do I do an image carousel? Do I do a video? Anyway, I'm not going to go too much into the weeds, but you'll see the thing. Like if you start setting one up for yourself, then you're going to know already how to do it for a client, and then you're going to be able to talk intelligently when you talk to them, because they'll probably ask you some questions about stuff. And if you've been through some of the process, then you can actually start to speak intelligibly, and you've already worked out a lot of the kinks that most people never actually end up getting through. I mean, even something like I remember at the start, I would talk to business owners and I would say, you should have a Facebook pixel on your website, and then you can track who's going to your website and you can retarget them with ads. And to me, that seemed like a very simple thing. It's a little piece of code, or if you use WordPress, it's a plugin, and you just put it up to the website, and boom, you're tracking people and you can retarget them on Facebook. Really easy. But I would have people look at me with this deer in the headlights, what are you talking about kind of look. And then I realized, oh, well, then they should pay me to set this up for them and start setting up their retargeting, because they're not going to figure it out themselves. And so just something like going through that process for myself, I could easily talk to them about it. Otherwise, when you get that first client, you're going to kind of churn and burn on them, and you're going to have to go through all the things and make all your mistakes on them. And that's okay, but if you're going to do that kind of thing, I would recommend starting with someone who's a friend, or someone who's family, or someone who has a very small business, or someone who you don't charge much to. The thing that they say in the course a lot is, well, say, hey, I'm just going to do this for free for you, and then I want to get a testimonial. And if it's for free and you kind of cack their campaign, which definitely people do. Don't think that everyone who gave a free campaign to try to get a testimonial succeeded, because a lot of you guys out there can say you did a horrible job the first couple times you tried to do this. But anyway, they didn't pay you, so we're not going to worry too much as long as you didn't make them spend a lot of money on ads. All right, so we're talking about how do you practice it. So practice it on yourself. Build your own website. I would say to do that, even if you have to do something on Wix, which I think is kind of a lame platform. I would actually use Squarespace if you're going to just do one of those template things. Or, build yourself a simple one on WordPress or something like that. I know everyone says websites aren't that important, but it's good to know how to build a basic one. Just do a one-pager. It's simple. It'll take you an afternoon. All right, and maybe go through the platform. Just do this stuff. And then once you can do that for yourself, then you can start doing it for your clients, and it'll have you go out there with a lot more confidence. So I say that's part of it. Now, when I was starting, my first couple clients, One of them was a local acupuncturist who's a friend of mine, and she wanted me to help her rank for something, so I had to learn SEO to be able to do that. I ended up charging her maybe like $300, maybe $400 for the entire thing, and it wasn't a big deal. It didn't cost her a lot of money, and I learned a lot. The next person was an attorney, and I created her LinkedIn page, and I started building that for her and helping her with her connections. I didn't charge that much, a couple hundred, $300, something like that. And that's not a lot of money to pay someone for these kind of services. But I bet that for someone like who's just starting on this, if you make an extra $500, you've pretty much almost paid for the course already. So you paid for the course and you learned how to do all this stuff. So the next part of practicing, maybe you could just get some simple clients. The first website I ever built for someone was just, I went down to the local square where I am. I'm in a pretty small town. So there's a square where there's all the shops and restaurants and everything. And I just walked around and I talked to each business owner. So I got experience of just talking to business owners. And then I went into all of them and I was like, hey, do you need a website? Or some social media or something like that. And my pitch was better than that, but that was essentially what I was saying. And then one of them bit. I had to go back there 2 or 3 times. I think I had to go back there twice before she committed to it. But then she said, yeah, build me a site. I can pay you $350. And I'm like, okay, that was awesome. I was stoked. I built her a website on Wix. She still uses it to this day. She was really excited about it. And she was totally happy, gave me a great testimonial. But I practiced on her at a low fee, and then if it would have backfired, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. Some of you people go out and be like, yeah, well, I'm going to start you out at $29.97, and I'm going to do all this, and you're going to have to give me $1,000 for Facebook ads. And then you just cack the whole campaign. That just happened to one of my friends. She owns a medical practice, and one of the people, I'm sure it was from this group, contacted her and was like, I'm a specialist in your specific niche, because she has a very specific niche, and I just want you to give me $1,500 to spend on Facebook ads and then give me a testimonial at the end. And he ran all these Facebook ads, didn't make her a dollar, didn't get her a single good lead the entire time he did it. And then she ended up spending all this money, on that. I don't think that's cool. I mean, why don't you just see, if you're good at this stuff with, even a couple $100, you should be able to do something for them that demonstrates results. But anyway, these are ways that you can start practicing, and it's kind of easy to practice these ways. Now, there's other people who just have the confidence and they're comfortable on social media. Maybe they've done marketing before, maybe they've run a business before, and they hop onto this and they can just go right out and they can start working on those clients. And they can just start doing real good work, generating results, generating leads, driving revenue. They just get it. And if you're someone like that, that's awesome. But I know a lot of people in this course are also, very young, very inexperienced. Maybe they haven't had a lot of training in marketing or in sales or in working with clients and understanding how to build a client relationship. And if you've never done any of that stuff before, there's a lot to learn. There's so much to learn. Even having a relationship with someone. I mean, it's not like hanging out with your friends where you can hang out in a t-shirt and just kind of gab and stuff. When you're with a business, you're a consultant. You have to understand their business. You need to get inside. You need to know how to ask questions. You need to know how to talk about their concerns. You need to know how to have a strategy moving forward, how we're going to drive this business for them. There's so many things you need to learn, and then just how you communicate with them. Because a lot of people, I mean, seriously, if you're in some of these Facebook groups, people's spelling is atrocious. Their grammar is atrocious. They'll just write 200 words all in one paragraph, and it's just a mess. So, I mean, even learning how to communicate with someone in concise, easy to read text, that's an art form where you get your point across clearly and you're not just word vomiting. So if you want to practice, do it for yourself and start working with anyone. Who cares? Work with anyone at all, at least for your first couple months. Now, I don't know, do it for your first month. Do that. Get a couple testimonials under your belt and then go to town. And then you can start, charging your high dollar rates and your $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month, whatever you're going to do. So that's my best advice for how to practice. And then be willing to take feedback. So anytime a client says they're happy with something, then that's a clue. Okay, this is something that I should learn how to repeat. How did I generate this thing? How did I generate this result that made them happy? And then do that same thing. And if someone gives you negative feedback, don't blow them off. Don't get mad. Don't react. Don't go onto Facebook and post some photos of your conversation and talk about what a loser this person was. Don't do any of that. Learn. What did you do wrong? You did something wrong. They didn't do something wrong. You did something wrong. So you learn from your mistake. And every once in a while, a client just sucks and they're just mean and they're hateful. That's not very common though. Most of these people just have a business and they just want to grow a business and they're putting a lot of trust in you. And if you screw it up, you screwed it up. So anyway, I hope that this is helpful for people. But the biggest thing is start now. Practice now. Don't wait until you finish a course to start practicing. You watch 1 or 2 videos, start practicing on that. You watch a section, start practicing. You see a new skill, learn how to use it. Put everything into practice constantly because you're never going to stop learning. So practice constantly every single thing you learn. If you do that, you're going to grow, you're going to learn, you're going to be successful, and your clients are going to love you because they're going to know that even if you don't know how to do something when they bring it up, you're going to learn and you're going to perform at a very high level for them and help them grow their business. Okay, so that's my advice. I hope that that helps, and I got plenty more content coming. If there's something else you want to learn about, then put it in the comments. I'll make a video. Click subscribe, click the notification bell, help me grow this channel, and I'll help you grow your business. All right, signing out. Awesome.